Below are some ChatGPT generated poems about Indian courts. Long-running court cases in India's courtrooms, justice takes its time, with cases that stretch on for years, and no end in sight. The wheels of justice grind so slow, and the wait is long, leaving those in need, with a feeling of being wronged. The poor and the oppressed, who need help the most, are left in a limbo, with their hopes almost lost. For justice delayed, is justice denied, and the struggle for fair treatment, is a battle that's never tied. The endless red tape, and endless appeals, make the road to justice, a journey full of trials. And while the rich can afford the best of the best, the poor are left to suffer, with no one to protest. The courts are crowded, with cases beyond count, and the wait for justice is a toll that wears us down. The judges are overworked, and the system is strained, leaving those who need help with little hope of being gained. In this land of so much promise, it's a sad state of affairs when justice is hindered by endless red tape and repair. For access to justice is a right for all to share, and it's time for India to fix a system beyond repair. Fate of undertrials in India's jails, they wait, the undertrials so poor, trapped in a system that seems to ignore. Years go by, with no trial in sight, leaving their futures shrouded in endless night. They're forgotten souls, with no voice to be heard, left in a purgatory, with no justice to be earned. They've lost their freedom, without a fair trial, trapped in a system that's so full of denial. Their families suffer, and their futures fade, while they spend their days in a jail-made shade. Their innocence presumed, but the proof's yet to come, as they waste away in a cell, their only home. Their lives are on hold, with no end in sight, leaving them hopeless, with no chance to fight. For justice delayed, is justice denied, and their fate is sealed by a broken system inside. So let us not forget the undertrials who wait in India's jails, in a state of such great. For every one of them is a life worth saving, and it's time for change in the way justice is given. Property dispute, a family torn apart by a property dispute so old, in India's courts they fight with tales untold. Years go by, and still they bicker and feud, leaving wounds that run deep, with no love left to be renewed. They were once united with bonds that couldn't break, but now they're strangers, with no agreement in sight. For heaven's sake, the land that once brought them joy now tears them apart, and the courtrooms are filled with anger and broken hearts. They argue and fight over every inch too, and the love that once flourished is now just a distant pinch. Their legacy stained by a battle so absurd, and the future of their family forever blurred. The judge listens on with a sigh and a frown, wishing they could settle and put this dispute down. For the sake of their family and the love they once shared, he hopes they'll find a way to repair what once was fair. So let this be a lesson to all who seek to fight, that family is precious, and disputes can lead to endless night. For the love that once was, is worth so much more than any piece of land, or any court case that's in store. A child custody dispute, a child's future hangs in the balance, in an Indian court today, where a husband and wife both seek to have their way. They once loved each other, but now they're worlds apart, and their child is caught in the middle, with a broken heart. They stand before the judge, with tales of love and pain, each trying to prove that they're the one to gain the custody of their child, and the right to guide their way, in a battle that's tearing them apart, every single day. The husband speaks of love, and a life that's now apart, the wife of pain and hurt, from a broken heart. The judge listens on, with a heavy heart, wishing for a resolution, before the trial must depart. For the child's future is what's at stake, and the decision made could be a costly mistake. The love they once shared is now just a distant memory, and the child is caught in the middle of a dispute so eerie. So let this be a lesson to all who seek to fight, that a child's love and well-being should always be in sight. For what's at stake is a future so bright, and the love that's lost can never be regained with all one's might. A divorce case, a tale of love and heartache in an Indian court's halls, where a husband and wife are battling it all. Years go by, and still they fight with appeals and motions, making it a never-ending sight. They once were in love with a bond so strong and true, but now they're strangers in a battle over what to do. The district court heard, and then the high court too, but still their dispute was far from over, it was true. And so they took it to the highest court of all, the Supreme Court of India, where justice shall befall. But even there, their battle raged on, with lawyers and judges, and a case that went so wrong. They fought over money, and property and such, and the love that once was now just a distant touch. Their future uncertain, as the years went by, and the divorce that once seemed simple, was now a battle that would not die. The rich Indian lawyer and Indian lawyer, with a heart of gold, with a gift for words, and a mind so bold. He took on cases, with a fire in his soul, and fought for justice, for his clients whole. With each case he won, his wealth did grow, and soon he was known, as the one to go. For those in need, of a voice in court, he was their champion, who fought with resort. His clients were rich, and his fees were high, but he never lost sight, of the reason why. He fought for justice, and the truth to be told, and his reputation, as a lawyer so bold. So he built a legacy, of wealth and fame, and the courtrooms echoed, with his name. For he was a lawyer, like none before, who fought for what's right, and opened doors. A cross-examination session. In the courtrooms of India, a drama unfolds, a cross-examination, where truth is told. A witness on the stand, with a tale to say, and a lawyer's questions, that will pave the way. The lawyer is confident, with a voice so sure, and the witness is nervous, with a heart that's pure. The judge observes, with a watchful eye, and the jury takes note, as the truth begins to vie. The lawyer asks questions, with a tone so strong, and the witness responds, with a voice that's long. They dance a delicate dance, of words and thought, with each question answered, the truth is brought. And as the session ends, and the court adjourns, the judge must decide, on the lessons learned. For the cross-examination, was just a start, in a court of justice, where truth is an art. So let this be a lesson, to all who seek the truth, that in the courtrooms of India, justice will always rule. For a cross-examination, is a dance of sorts, and the truth shall always, be the final resort.